Hey everybody, welcome back to another Jackson Jet Setting Cruise video. Today we're checking out Royal Caribbean's private destination Labadee. It's a peninsula connected on the island of Hispaniola, part of the country of Haiti. Royal Caribbean has been cruising here since the 1980s, and it was their first private destination in the Caribbean. Now they have Coco Cay as well, which is really cool. But we sailed here on Oasis of the Seas. This is my second time on the island, so we're going to do a full island tour here, check out all the fun things there are to do at Labadee during your day. If you like these types of cruise videos, please subscribe to the channel. We have lots of cruise content on there, as well as resorts and destinations around the world. Now, first impressions stepping off the ship is this destination is really beautiful. Really feels kind of unspoiled in a way. Haiti just being a little bit less developed on this area. So, you know, lots of forest around this island destination, though of course you have tons and tons of things to do actually on Labadee. So Labadee's fully gated. It's got a lot of security protections from the rest of the country as Haiti is going through and has continued to go through a lot of turmoil, to say the least. So rest assured that Royal Caribbean has everything handled in terms of safety here while you're stopping on your cruise. Now this plaza here is where a lot of the excursions will meet, especially those on boats. They also have a bar up ahead, and it's really cool to see the local musicians and dancers welcoming you to the private destination. Now, unfortunately, I did find that drink prices here were pretty much on par on board the ship. It seemed like beers and stuff were about $10, which is pretty expensive. I do like traveling to some of the island destinations and finding deals on drinks and food that are maybe a little bit cheaper than on board. All your food is included though, which is great. They have a nice barbecue lunch that we'll show you in a bit. Now, as I mentioned, it is a peninsula, so on the north side of the peninsula is Dragon's Beach and Adrenaline Beach. This is where the world's famous Dragon's Breath zipline, one of the longest in the world, comes in. That's a little over $100 per person. It can vary when you book. I always recommend people on Royal Caribbean ships to watch that app and watch for sales for a lot of excursions, especially ones that are Royal Caribbean run. This really can save you a lot of money on your cruise, and taking advantage of those sales maybe around Black Friday, Cyber Monday. Just a big deal to save a lot of money on your cruise for sure. Now in this video we walked the whole peninsula. It is a pretty long walk, so they do have trolleys and trams that'll take you where you want to go. They have some bikes too that you can rent. A lot of the action being on the south side, one of the more protected bays I would say for families and that sort of thing. Also where your private beach destinations like the Barefoot Beach Club are, so that's pretty cool. Also a lot of the cabanas that you can rent from Royal Caribbean, so pretty cool there. But you do have some trucks and trolleys to take you around too if you need that. Now the Zipline Excursion, you'll test out your equipment down here at this way smaller zipline and then get trucked all the way up to the top of the mountain to go try Dragon's Breath. Number of different experiences there. You have the traditional zipline, you have the Superman style, which is pretty cool. We opted for 2 excursions on our stop. One was the Dragon's Tail Alpine coaster, which was a lot of fun. One cool tip is that riders are actually free if you're just riding along and not driving. We didn't really know that, so we ended up getting to do the Alpine coaster twice, which was a lot of fun. You control the speed based on braking on your little cart, so that's a lot of fun. Lots of history here too, actually. There's some trails that run off into the woods. You can see some sugar mill ruins that are, you know, local and historic to Haiti, which is pretty cool. The other excursion that we did, which we'll show you at the end of the video, is an excursion just on the water, on a nice little boat ride, some sightseeing. Really cool to get outside of Labadee in that controlled environment to see what the coastline really looks like. There's a nice paved path to walk on here, and then over to the left is Adrenaline Beach. So that's where the floating bar is as well, so you can run out and get a cocktail floating, which is pretty cool. And then here's the entrance to the private beach destination, Barefoot Beach Club. So it's actually reserved for Pinnacle Club members, or if you're in the suites and guests who purchase a cabana. So you get an upgraded barbecue lunch, complimentary snorkel gear, and floating beach mats, which is pretty nice. And that area of the beach is very, very pretty. You have a nice view of the ship as well. So that's definitely an option for you if you want a little bit more privacy. We found plenty of room on the main beach, which is Columbus Cove, named for Christopher Columbus, who actually sighted this area, one of the first places he saw in the New World, which is pretty cool. Now, if you're a Pinnacle Club member, you're probably not watching this video because you've probably already been to Labadee, but if I had access to that, if I was in the suites or a Pinnacle Club member, it's probably where I would go just because it's a little bit more upscale, a little bit away from the crowds, depending on the size of the ship that's docking here during the day. But overall, the whole area is very, very nice. And if you get off the ship a little bit early, kind of around breakfast time, right when they clear the ship, you'll have no problem getting a prime beach location for the day, especially the further away you go down to Columbus Cove. In between the Barefoot Beach Club and Columbus Cove, though, is Nellies Beach, which is kind of a relaxation retreat. So this is where private bungalows are as well. You can get an overwater bungalow, waterfront one, or just a beach cabana and unwind in your own slice of paradise. And you have waiter service throughout there too, which is pretty great. You even have some stuff for the little kids to do, as you can see the splash pad there in the distance. So some fresh water, which is nice. It did get a little hot here, even though we were visiting in December. And now we're coming up on a little bit of Columbus Cove. If you're looking for that free lunch, that free barbecue, that's going to be found in Columbus Cove. Big buffet area. Thought the food quality was pretty good. Obviously, alcoholic drinks are a little extra charge, but you can grab lunch there during the day, and it's typically your chicken, your ribs, that sort of thing. I wouldn't say it's necessarily like traditional Haitian food, but very high quality and nice to get that smoke flavor that you can't really get too much on the ship, since open flame is a big no-no on board. If you're someone who likes souvenirs, there's a big souvenir stand near Columbus Cove, and then you kind of have to go through the gauntlet, as I call it, which there's lots of local vendors that are trying to sell their wares. Lots of cool stuff though, and it's a lot of handicrafts. If you want a souvenir from your time in Haiti, kind of a rare destination to visit, probably a good option there. Obviously open to bargaining too, so don't ever accept that first price. Feel comfortable knowing that you're helping the local community too with any purchase. Finally making our way to that shop area that I mentioned earlier. So lots of stalls inside. It's a good place to take a break from the sun too. A lot of shade here though, lots of trees, which is really great. You can see a lot of forest on the hills up ahead. I do recommend doing kind of the Alpine excursion if you're not really up for the zip line, because you do get a really great view from the top of the mountain. Super fun. And then plenty of picnic tables here for dining. Of course, you can always take the food back to your beach chair. And so this is the Adrenaline Beach buffet area. So you have Columbus Cove and you have Adrenaline Beach right at the end of the peninsula, away from the ship. Now we'll take a look at Adrenaline. Then at the end of Adrenaline Beach here is the Alpine coaster, as well as the trail that takes you all the way up to the zip line that they'll put you in trucks to haul you all the way up there. You can see a little bit of the track there, so lots of cool banked turns. It really is a true roller coaster experience. You actually get to control how fast you go, so if you're in a group of several people and one person might be a little chicken, make them go in the back because you can get up a little bit faster speed. And here's a shot from our beach lounger on Columbus Cove, so great view of the ship. Really, really pretty water here. Just really amazing. But we opted for the afternoon excursion on board a little boat to get out and check out Haiti since we hadn't been here in quite a while. So obviously really great views of all of Labadee on board. As we pulled away, you could see a number of other excursions. Of course, you have your jet skis, you have parasailing, and kind of your typical excursions. Of course, snorkeling too. Opted not to do that this trip, but the water looked really great, so I imagine that snorkeling is really, really amazing. And of course, if you do not want to go offshore at Labadee, you do not have to. You can stay on board the ship, pretty much have the ship to yourself, especially something as big as the Oasis of the Seas. But we wanted to get off the ship and check out more of the local culture, get some fun facts, that sort of thing. Love doing that whenever we're traveling abroad. So we just drove by this big sand beach, but there's actually an excursion that'll take you out to the beach, park you there for the day, and then take you back before the ship leaves. So that's an option if you're looking for something a little bit more kind of rustic. They have some beach vendors there that are cooking food, but really a cool, just out of like a picture book sort of experience here that I think is pretty unique to this destination. And obviously not very busy since we're really one of the only tourists that would come to this area. You do have some tourists, I think, that rent houses, a lot of French, some Canadians that rent houses on this stretch of the coastline here, and you can grab a local boat to take you out here, but gonna be mostly cruise ship passengers with you. Did like this excursion though, got to try some local rum that they were selling on board. This was a little bit better price than on the island, so that was cool. Obviously had great views of the ship in the distance, but really great little hour-and-a-half tour. Bring a fan though, it did get a little bit hot, or just find that shade on the boat. Just something to be aware of in Haiti, as with anywhere else. So overall, we had a really, really great time in Labadee. If you like these types of videos, if you like Royal Caribbean ships, I have a lot of tours on the channel. I'm going to be doing more and more as time goes on. So thanks a lot for watching. Enjoy the rest of the video here in Labadee.